Yesterday we left off in the Shal with Nishmas Shabbos and Reish the Gimel. We're in the middle of the Tshuva, talking about different miscellaneous halachos pertaining to an Avel on Erev Shabbos. Yesha Kasu, Shabbat Shabbos Shemei Avlo Yavarach Hizbanav. Some say that the Avel, this is what we left off with yesterday, shouldn't bless his children on Shabbos night. This is obviously referring to people who have such a minhag to do so. Benogeya im below Shabbos oimrim birchas mein Shabbat kishon palim and besa Avel. In b'shulchan aruch mavur shalom. Now regarding saying Magain Avos, Bidvaro, etc. All of that in the house of an Avel on Shabbos night. We don't do that in the Avel's house. Miu Lefita said Rizal Yishakosov Omro Yishal Sheila Lachachom. Or according to the Rizal, you would say is the Shaila.
I thought it's a blanket thing. You would say that Magain Avos in the shul.
Correct. Maybe it's different because of an Avel, because there's a whole hashkaf. His house becomes public. It's what to look into. Yesh achronim shekasvu shelo yomar ha'avel below Shabbos kodem asuda pizmon shalom aleichem malachi yashari. Some say that an avel shouldn't say shalom aleichem on Shabbos night. Miyukim eduma sham minok sha'avel oimro kirogil b'Shabbos shebetel chashiv. However, seems like the minok is that the avel would say shalom aleichem like he regularly does. Benira lahachriya lo oimro below nigun. Seems like maybe the best thing for him to do would be to say it, but without the song, without the nigun. Movad kishashar b'nei abayis she'inun avelim b'subim sham she'ad yish la'asr l'shanos min aminog b'chol mishum isra avelus v'arhesya. Except for when other people in the house who are not avelim, who are not mourning, are over there, so then it would be also to change from the minog that he does during the week because of the prohibition of publicly practicing avelus. So again, you would not say it unless people who are not available over there, so they would have to say it. So in other words, other people would say it, but he wouldn't say it with the son. Okay. Sefer Nishmas Kasavnu Shemisha Ragil Bakol Shabbos L'Sayim Tehillim Mutter Nami Loimar Bimei Avilasa. For those who have the custom to finish Tehillim on Shabbos, that would be permissible for an Avel as well to do. Be permissible even in the shul, but he just shouldn't sit around everyone else. Masha Gasavno She'aser Ha'avel L'Shoyri Matzibor Zemer L'Chadoidi wrote that it's prohibited for an Avel to sing with the tzibor the Zemer of L'Chadoidi. So he says, look over there. Shafilu la'achar hashiva b'mesha kol ha'yud beis chaydish yishal din l'eser. Even after Shiva, during the 12 months, it would be prohibited. But regarding this, the prohibition, the custom is that to be lenient over here. So the idea is that L'Chadoidi, ad kedei kach, there could be a problem saying it during the whole year. Perhaps it seems like the custom is to be lenient and to be able to say it. It's leniency.
You mentioned something about Zmiros on as Zebel. I mean, you ought to sing Zmiros in Shloshim Beis Chodesh, no?
That's what he's saying. It seems like, again, if you had to look more details, you have to look up the Nishmas Yisrael Chilik Beisim and Chavav to see all the sources. This is really very brief summaries of a 3-volume set, which is well over 1,000 pages on halachas that pertain to an Avel on Erev Shabbos. So he says, you want all the sources from where I'm getting this from? You got to look at my sefer over there, because that's a sefer on Avelus. So we don't know exactly, but it says, yeah, custom is to be lenient, but it's not even so simple to say L'Chadodi. Sing it. Okay, now we're going to go to something a little longer. Im shaper dami sha'avel bezoch yud beis chodesh is pal of ne'ateva tfilas mincha derev Shabbos. This tshuva was an eye-opener for me. First of all, it's very long. This is the last tshuva of Avelus, and then he's going to go into the halachas about being makabel Shabbos with the tzibur a little bit. Meaning, we're going to see about the different capitals that we say in Kabbalah Shabbos and different halachas. If a person walks in late to shul, does he have to say them in order? Could he skip? Could he say them after davening? There's some surprising halachas over there. But the question is, like, what's the question over here? Mincha is Erev Shabbos. So if Mincha is Erev Shabbos, seemingly it would be completely permissible to
Down for the Yom.
to daven for the Amud on Erev Shabbos, right? It should be completely permissible to be Chazan on Erev Shabbos because Maisa Mincha is before Shabbos, and the whole problem is on Shabbos. So that's what I thought. But there's some eye-opening ideas over here and customs that certain Hasidim have. Mistaber de makomos shemagdimin lespalo mincha koidim shkias achamash yahader aval lespalo mincha lifnei ateva. Oh, okay. So by us, we daven mincha before shkia. So then it's not an issue. The problem is that Hasidim purposely daven after shkia. So it's after sunset for numerous reasons. They daven mincha then, which our Masorah is not that way, but that's their custom. So now, according to them, they do that. Is an aval at daven mincha then, because it could be that it's already Shabbos. It's after shkia. It's after sunset. It's bein hashmash, safik yom, safik layla. L'chayra haya inyan, v'hader b'yoyser sha'avel yizpalel l'fnei hateva. It seems like the avel would daven. L'fiyah mavor b'sifriya mikubalim debalel Shabbos kol neshamos olos lagan eden elyon. Afilu oisen shadayin him b'toch yod beis chodesh. It's a very auspicious time. It's a special, important time to daven, because the Mikubalim say that on Shabbos night, all of the neshamas they go up to Gan Eden and Elyon, the upper Gan Eden, and therefore even those within their full year. So therefore, the idea is that this is a special time right before Shabbos, because right, Shabbos Gehenim is that's their off day and they don't go to work. So you have the Gan Eden, so you want to get them the last merits that they could get. And for this reason, some are very careful to learn Mishnayos on Erev Shabbos during the 12 months near the time of Mincha, and when Shabbos comes in. And the reason is to get those last minute merits in. Inken adif sheyasok as kol efshar v'tikuni neiran shel haniftar v'hu tova gadol haniftar. The idea is to be involved with activities which would help the deceased. That would be great. Mavur b'Ramah, there should be a space in between Ramah and Yoredeya. But anyways, the Ramah says in Yoredeya in Hilchos Avelus Simin Shinayin Vav, Dil has power of Neateva Odif Mamir as Kaddish. Davening as Chazan is better than saying Kaddish. Surprise, surprise. The Kaddish lo niskon el b'shvil ketanim she'inim no shoyin l'spal l'fnei ateva. Kaddish is really there for young kids who aren't bar mitzvah, who they have to say Kaddish at a young age. So that's why Kaddish is there. So therefore, the real avoida, so to say, for the niftar is davening as chazan. V'shamati nami kein mishim echad gedoli hadmorim. The real avoida, by the way, is not even the amud. The real avoid is working on one's midos and learning more Torah, doing more mitzvahs. That's the real avodah. But when we're talking about the avodah in the shul itself, in terms of the davening, so contrary to common opinion and misconception, Kaddish is not the main thing. It's davening as the chazan. But even so, that has to be done in a very smart and delicate way, because you could have a 50-volume set with 500 pages in each book about horror stories, people fighting for an amud. and Morakalita, right? Unfortunately. So that's really the main avoda over there. And to do it in a smart way, now they have already sheets sometimes that are signed where the gabbai already knows who's doing what. They have that over here at the hourly minion, the gabbai as a cheshbon. What?
Sign up online.
Now at the Chaim Vashavim, it's all online. I never saw it, but I was told it's like a spreadsheet, and you could reserve, and in live time, just like an Excel doc, which is shared, you could see in live time when there's a change. So you could already see, so everyone already knows before what's going on. That's great. But then if there's a guest, he doesn't know about that, and then someone signed up, whatever. So all of that. But the idea is that not to quarrel, and the idea is that the Amud is the Iker, right? That's the main part. Also, person should not like decrease the importance or think lowly of when a chazan just gets the end of davening from Ashrei and on, because that one kaddish, the kaddish tiskabel right before Aleinu, has a tremendous amount of halachic significance, and therefore it's a very chashuv kaddish to say the kaddish of tiskabel. Yeah, kiddush sidra, yes. But that's a very special kaddish. Okay, about minog kama edios chasidim she'ina avol mispal lifnei hateva. So something that we might have not known until today. Many chasidim, they have the minog that the avol doesn't daven mincha on erev Shabbos. V'loin is bar li tamadavar. She says, I never understood this. Lama lo yishtadel az betikun nishmas hayrav. Why shouldn't you daven and try to help? After all, we just said above, they're going to Gan Eden shel Elyon. What? Yeah. He says, "Chashavti lit in tamadavar." Maybe the reason for this is perhaps as follows. David, you okay? You took your video off. Now it's put it on. Now it's off.
You want me to, I keep it on. I don't want. I might have like the beeping in the back. I don't want to keep it on, but I'll keep it on. I'll keep it on.
Keep it on. If there's noise, then I'll mute you. Don't worry. Frankfurt. So maybe we could say the reason for them not davening is based on a custom in Frankfurt. That it says over there, Ariel brings that the Avel Sheina Avel Maspal of Neativ B'Yam Sheina Rotachnin. There's a concept of an Avel not davening when Tachnun is not said. Because it's like more of a yontif. So as we know, V'Hab Erev Shabbos Mincha L'Mal Einom Tachnun. We're not saying Mincha Erev Shabbos. Maybe accordingly they shouldn't daven. Aval Leisa L'Tamzeh. But really, that reason is an incorrect reason. The Haba Emes Min Hagenu Be'erev Rosh Chodesh Einom Rotachnin Min Mincha L'Mal B'Afal Pikein. We just had Erev Rosh Chodesh, right? Truth is, it's a fake Erev Rosh Chodesh because there was Shabbos, so it doesn't really count. But if it's Erev Rosh Chodesh during the week, we don't say Tachnim by Mincha. But still, the custom everywhere is for an Avel to daven. So don't tell me for an Avel to daven as Chazan, of course. So don't tell me that the reason why the Avel wouldn't daven Erev Shabbos Mincha, Minhag of some Chasidim, is because it's a time when Tachnun isn't said, because we know from Rosh Chodesh that Tachnun isn't said there either, and they still daven. Usually, now we can provide another reason for this. Mipnei shemeis tfilas mincha hu me'in Kabbalah Shabbos. The time of mincha, when we daven mincha, is a Kabbalah Shabbos. Ayin Charles Teshuvas Teshuras Chai, yeah. Look in the Shal Juv Teshuras Chai Chelik Al Simin Tov Lam Beis Shema Az Maschilin Olamos Alois Mikol Kedusha Shabbos. We saw this already earlier about the tshuva of wearing Shabbos clothing, Mincha Erev Shabbos. If a person's having Mincha Erev Shabbos, maybe Mincha Gedola, you wouldn't need to as much Mincha Ketana, you would because it's closer to Shabbos. The same idea. Because that Mincha Erev Shabbos is when the Kedusha begins. Shaz Maschilin Holamos, the worlds begin Lahalos to ascend Mikoyach Kedusha Shabbos because of the holiness of Shabbos. So the worlds start ascending because of that Kedusha of Shabbos. I'm a Sefer Das Kedoshim. Dagon Kadosh Razdel Zal Mishem Harizal Magodel Kedushas Tfilas Mincha Der Shabbos Shaz Mis Alois HaNefesh Ruach V'Neshama. So the Kedusha of Shabbos already is palpable, it's in there, right? And we feel it.
So
So there,
just a regular person that Tfilas Mincha has an extra special.
it's
kedusha
there,
to it?
it's there. Lamais the Mitzias. The fact, the actuality is that the Kedusha is already there, whether we realize it or not. The worlds start ascending because of the Kedusha of Shabbos, the upper worlds. Right? That Arizal said because of his great Kedusha of Mincha and Erev Shabbos, the Nefesh, the Ruach, Neshama, they all start elevating. V'hakfarnes pashet haora she'avu b'zoch yud beis chodesh enim mispal lefnei teva b'Shabbos alkein k'mo she'ein avel mispal lefnei teva b'Shabbos k'mo kein nami lo mincha Torah. Just like an avel isn't going to daven on Shabbos, so too mincha erev Shabbos. But shakati yesh loden ma'acher she'etzem adaver ma she'ein avel mispal lefnei teva b'Shabbos atzma lo brira kol kach l'shur. But the fact is, surprisingly enough, the aval not davening on Shabbos as chazan is actually not so simple. That it's going to be aser maker hadin. Look in Siman Tafkof Lamed Tes, and look in the Sefer Nishmas Yisrael Chilik Beis Siman Lamed Beis. More barichos for that. Al Kin Yishleimer Im Lecha Bo El Chidusho B'Tfilus HaKavus Shabbos Atzmo. So therefore, that really wouldn't be such a good reason because you only have the Chiddush itself. Not, you can't apply the Chiddush to something else. Meaning, it's already, so to say, questionable whether an Avel is prohibited to daven as Chazan on Shabbos. So therefore, we're going to limit it to that and that only, and it's not going to apply on Erev Shabbos. Miu be'emes lavin haga pashtu. Truth is, this is not a simple minhag at all. We find many places where an Avel is allowed to daven mincha on Erev Shabbos. Seif Makor Chayim, Chovos Yair, Shezika daven. By Kabbalah Shabbos lo yispal avad. By Kabbalah Shabbos he can't daven because it's already Shabbos. We know Minhag Chabad. Okay, Minhag Chabad. How often do we see that getting quoted? V'shamati shechein nami nahagu, shechein nami nahagu b'Poland. Also in Poland they had this custom. V'lai ma shein ha'avel mispalo. Why doesn't the Aval daven? Meisha derech klal etzel chasidim ha'admorim v'rabani ya'ir atzmam mispalu tfilas mincha lifnei teva. This is a fascinating insight that I never knew about before I learned this. Apparently, it's a big Indian by Hasidic Rebbes to daven mincha erev Shabbos. So let's just stop there before we even continue learning about why. What we see from there is the chashivos of mincha erev Shabbos. What was that guy's name who comes to do the filters in the computer erev Shabbos? ADL or something? Yeah. So he was saying all the tires that Erev Shabbos, it's the culmination, it's the end of the week, it's the last time you could have personal bakashas. He was saying some tires over there, right? So, but the idea is that, this is an auspicious time, Kipshuto, not because of those reasons, but Pashtus, nothing to do with that. Because the Kedusha of Shabbos is already beginning. So it's an incredibly special time. Ad kedei kach that the big Rebbes that they would daven. Machmus chashivos oiso hatfila v'zmana, because of the importance of the tefillah, and not just the tefillah, but the time of the tefillah. V'azu eis rotzoin v'zman his oidrus l'mispalm. It's an eis rotzoin, an auspicious time, and a time of awakening. It's a special time. Beshuv mishum lo plugin higush yispal b'zman b'koyim she'in sham Rav or Admor. So then they said low plug. They said the minhag with these Hasidic sects is not to daven. That the Aval doesn't daven because the Rebbe is daven. So therefore, these Hasidim, even if they're in a place without the Rebbe's, he's not there. Nevertheless, the custom continued that the Aval did not daven. Aval lo shiyeh. Aval lo shehaya eze kapidish lo yispal. Not that it's a halachic problem, or that each person should be careful not to daven at all who's an avel. It happened that he davened, it's fine, he davened. But this perhaps is where this custom developed with certain groups. Chacham Echad Amar Li, Shmaram is Satmers Chusugin Aleno Haniach level is pal of Neatev Minion Shaloi, known as Kais Kishulo is pal. So apparently there's a certain Chacham, told Rav Harvinus, that the Satmar Rebbe, when he was in one of the summer camps, probably upstate or something, so there was an oval there, and he allowed the oval to daven Mincha Erev Shabbos when he wasn't davening. So you see, it's allowed. Ein Child's Jew is Minchas Asher. Oh, Asher Weiss, Chelik Beis, your day is in Kavches. What does he say? Shetalui b'minhagu b'makom she'minhag, but it's valid. Depends on the custom. In places where this is not the custom, aka by us, let him daven. Mahagon Hatzadik Rishcham Friedman Shlita, the mince, the Kila Kadisha Satmer, Vav Membeis, Shamati, Shemash and Hogan Etzlenu, Sha'avelin as Pal Mincha Be'er Shabbos Umishum, Shemagin Lacher, B'tfilas Mincha Samach Le'er Bezman to Sefer Shabbos. Oh, you shouldn't Shemagin La'acher, right? The reason why level in daven is because mincha a lot of times the chasidim is very late. Right? The people who daven mincha before Shkia, aka us, and most places in the 5 towns for Rockaway. I think there's probably only around 5 places that daven after Shkia, maybe 10 out of 200 shuls. Yeah. Achayim Veshalom now they have a few minyanim after Shkia now.
On Shabbos?
No, during the week they have one after Shkia and then one even further more. So you see that there's a demand for it. Minach Chasidim. So for those who daven early, kosher game is matchamut the best, especially we're davening in a time where you're allowed to do malacha. Bemis yachal avos ba'al mincha. Emes is truth is the aval could daven mincha. Shuvar Yisishkin Yoitzim is Sefer Lakuti Maharich. Also Lakuti Maharich brings a Shizbal, you should have. Shaljim and Minchas Asher Nitzke Al Kosel B'Fakvik Al Tam Zed, the Hof B'Shabbos Asma Yesharim, Shenis Gamos Ba'al Ifnei Teva Kamosh Kosev, Yirmisim Al Kain, Al Koponim B'Sefer Shabbos, O Avenish Mashir Makal Hakal. Even Aval davening on Shabbos isn't so partial that it's going to be also like we said above. So therefore, in a time when you're adding on to Shabbos, the Sefer Shabbos, or even Bein Hashmashos, you could be lenient, you could daven. Sham, Tam, Minug, and Nimnoim, Kevin Charmer, Mizmar, Hodu Lashem Kitov, you'll say, maybe in Avashon, they say, Hodu Lashem Kitov. Umaskiram Bob Suki is Simcha. You're mentioning Sukim have to do with Simcha, so maybe according to that, the Avashon and Davin. So they'll say maybe it's not proper for the Aval to say it. They'll say maybe it's improper because you got the psukim of the Simcha over there. Similar to what the Maram Shik writes, or Chaim Simin Kupe Gimel in your how. Oval shouldn't have an how. You got Hodus in there, you got Simcha in there. Loinira, that's incorrect. Shiny hal or sheishlamim b'derech simcha. Hal difference got to be said in a state of simcha, like the Gemara in Maseches Erechin Daf Yud discussed in Masha Inkin. In our case, we don't find that this mizmar has to be said b'simcha, the hodu. So therefore, you could have it. Pashat, Shabal Yurtzai by the Omer Shabbos Shalif Ne'ativ Gam Mincha Kamashir Lif Ne'ativ Shabbos Hasba. For sure, someone who has Yurtzai would daven as Chazan Erev Shabbos, just like how he would daven on Shabbos at the end, which I didn't highlight. He says, unless there's the Rebbe who would daven. I think that's definitely not our custom. Somebody who's Yurtzai would definitely daven, but you see, Ad Kedei Kach, you really see the seriousness of the Rebbe davening Erev Shabbos, even if there's a Yurtzai, which is a shocker to me. You see how strong the minhagim are, and you see from this minhag that the Rebbe davens how chashuv that mincha really is. That's what you see. Next tshuva. Potzach lotzeis mebeis hakneses koidim lechun and. Person needs to leave shul before lechun and which is, of course, is the beginning of Kabbalah Shabbos. Lechun and lo Hashem no So he's got to leave. Ubo b'chazara kishehatzibor mekablim Shabbos. So this fellow over here is returning when the tzibor is now accepting Shabbos upon themselves. In other words, they already made their way through Kabbalah Shabbos. They're towards the end of it. Let's say they're like around the end of the Chadodi area, which is the approximate time when the tzibor congregation accepts Shabbos. The question is, should you say L'chuna Rana and all the other Mizmarim, the capitals, in Kabbalah Shabbos in order, and you just go in order? Or should you be Makabal Shabbos with the Tzibur, and you say the end of the Chadodi with them around wherever they're up to, everything after? Is there a concept of being Makabal Shabbos with the Tzibur? So I always thought you go in order.
The Yavel also? Nobody's asking, he's asking like the guys outside, right?
Forget about the Avel. We're done with the Avelis now.
Yeah.
But the truth is, this would apply to the Avel. I never thought about that. Yeah, the Avel. I always thought the Avel is just gonna daven before he goes in the shul, the Kabbalah
Right, you
Shabbos.
always just think they should
So it
daven.
wouldn't apply to the Avel.
But he's saying that there's an Indian not to say it, there might be an Indian not to say it because he didn't accept Shabbos yet, so he can't say the Pesukim of the around. Is that his point?
Right now. No, that's not his point. You don't accept Shabbos by Lachun, except the later on towards the end of Kabbalah Shabbos. The whole discussion where maybe Mizmor Shirley on my
No,
Shabbos.
the person just, you're talking about, no, just a person needs to leave.
Person was like this,
It's
okay?
not solo.
Yeah, solo would probably be a bigger break. Let's say like this. Person goes to shul, yeah. He goes to shul, he sits there, he's like, oh my goodness, my stomach. Goes to the bathroom. Nice 5-10 minutes. He comes back, boom. At the end of the Chadodi. So now the question is, does he say from L'chuna in order?
And play catch up, or just start with them and go weiter.
Because or maybe start with them, you Makabel Shabbos with them, and then say the Mizmorim from before that he skipped.
They said Barfel?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that. Right? Yeah, it's in mind not to start the Birchas Chiyashma. Within this question, is there an Indian to be Makabel Shabbos with the Tzibor? They have 10 people. Also, this is a Shiloh of if he says it with them and skips it in Morim, is he even obligated to make them back up? Is he allowed to make it up after Mariv? And another Shiloh, I'll just say 10 Shilohs over here to this one, is it even permissible to say those Mizmorim in the beginning of Kabbalah Shabbos on once you already accept the Shabbos upon yourself, or because maybe those Mizmorim are specifically from before you accept Shabbos, but once you accept Shabbos upon yourself, you could no longer say those Mizmorim for certain reasons. Yaktim Lakabel Shabbos Imatzibur. Says a fascinating psak. Long truth. He says that you should be Makabel Shabbos with the Tzibur.
And then what?
He doesn't say. Near Sha'af Shmesav Shabama Yitidak Behaktim Amiris Mizmor Lachunan Al Lefnei Kabbalah Shabbos Sima Shukosov Sefer Seder Ayom Bashar Sfar Makadoshim the Shishas and Noam Elohim connected Shishas Yemei Achol Mizmor Hovul Hashem Bnei Elim Agoymer Niskan connected Erev Shabbos Mele Shlichachil Yesh Lamer Al Seder Yemos Shvuv Al Hav Chesud Yeshayim Emai. So first of all, there's a concept of going in order. The Sefer Seder Hayom teaches us that the first 6 Mizmorim of Kabbalah Shabbos correspond to the 6 weekdays. Every single Mizmor stands for 1 weekday. Consequently, the Mizmor of Havul Hashem Bnei Elim corresponds to Erev Shabbos. Therefore, Lechachila, they should be said in an order, and they should not be changed. Just like the weekdays, the world was created in a certain order. We want to keep that order. May I add in that we know from Siman Nun Beis the Mishnah Berurah, a lot of people quote, I think it's B'Shem Arizal, that if a person starts skipping parts of davening, he's being mahafich the sinoros. He's switching the pipes, so to say. You don't want to mess with that. Speak to any plumber. Rav Shimshon Pincus Hatzal gives a mashal. A person's building an 80-story building. He's trying to build the 40th story before he builds the first 39. The building's not going to end up very good from floors 40 to 80. I'll tell you that much. Mikomokom, nevertheless, benidon sheila saying regarding our shaila, our case, our scenario. Nira shiyakim lakabel Shabbos imasibor. You should be makabel Shabbos with the tzibor. Why? That time, the reason we got a few. Chada, firstly, mishum mitzvah seven Shabbos l'kama paisik and rizkayim yalim kim makabel hedja. Allah beimri piv. To accept Shabbos upon yourself, you should do it verbally. Some poskim say it has to be done verbally. Number two, streets makdim the mitzvahs. You want to do mitzvahs ASAP, as soon as possible. Because again, as mama mashmi shalavor. Shane is secondly, the Mavor is interesting. He puts it all as one reason. Perhaps it could be multiple reasons. Shane is secondly, the Mavor because Arizal Sheshu Shabbat Kabbalah Shabbos V'Yivadik. According to Arizal, there's an idea of being Makabel Shabbos with the Tzibor, specifically with the Tzibor, to accept Shabbos upon yourself. Kain Hu B'Sefer Atikonim Mishmei Da Arizal Shesar Chasar B'Shaz Kabbalah Shabbos. You need 10 during Kabbalah Shabbos. Knusel Kabbalah Shabbos, like we say in the text of Kabbalah Shabbos, B'Hizman B'Hoi B'Shalom Toy Chamun Yam Segula. There's the idea of being Makabel Shabbos with 10. Just like Birchus Chasanim by Shabbos Brachos, you need 10 people. So then, so too over here, Shabbos. Shabbos is considered where like marrying Kadosh Baruch Hu, so to say. Therefore, it has to be 10. Vilo Amir is Mizmor. Here's the rip on the Mizmor game Kabbalah Shabbos that you never knew about. Here's the history, and here's the rip. Saying those mizmorim, they're not in Rishonim, Poskim, and Shulchan Aruch, or the commentaries on the Shulchan Aruch, nor is it in the Kisvei Arizah. Amazing, sourceless. Why does everyone do it? I'm very new. So Simon Zeh. Got to keep moving the tubes. We're going to see more about that. We're going to see even more of the historical background on these mizmorim and their sourcelessness. Okay, that they really. The sourceless. They don't have a source. The source is the Sefer Seder Hayom. The Siddur Yabet's right. Shetiknu Ramak or by Moshe Cordovero enacted to say it. The Agam Shekavarn is Kabbalah Mirasan. Even though the custom is to say it everywhere, nevertheless, don't push off the main dish, the meat and the potatoes, aka accepting Shabbos with the tzibor because of the tofu, the secondary dish because of the ketchup.
I know we didn't finish, but at this point he's saying if you come late, make sure you chop Mizmor Shalem Shabbos with everybody.
Yeah, maybe even the end of L'chadodi, that's right. Then he says make it up after Kabbalah Shabbos. Maybe you're not allowed to do it after Kabbalah Shabbos. Since these Mizmorim have to do it the weekday. After you made it holy, how are you going to make it weekday? You could say it as if you're just like reading from the Torah. Oh boy, got 3 minutes left on the clock. So if the tzibor already began saying Marav, you should skip completely saying the Mizmor of L'chunaran in order to daven Marav with the tzibor, and you should say it after you daven Marav like you're reading from the Torah. And he says, I also saw in the Ksos HaShulchan that after he writes that if you came late to shul, you need to skip L'chunaran L'chadoidi in order to daven Marav with the tzibor. I'm not sure if you need to say it after Marav. However, L'chadodi for sure you shouldn't say it. L'chadodi you shouldn't say it, because how could you say Pnei Shabbos Nekabla that you're accepting Shabbos after you already accepted Shabbos? And also the capital of Mizmor LeDavid Havul Hashem, of Mizmor LeDavid Havul Hashem B'nei Elim. Maybe you should say specifically before Kabbalah Shabbos, not to mess up the pipes like we just said. The Arizal. So therefore, if it's possible, you should go quick to say that capital before Kabbalah Shabbos, and then afterwards you makabel Shabbos with the tzibur. Okay, then he's going to go into saying the Mizmor of L'chunaran at night, which is going to be a new inyan. Okay, so we're gonna go with it. We're gonna pick it up from there. L'chunaran at night. So it comes out that the halacha l'maisa would be you would in fact be makabel the Shabbos with the tzibor. Chashav need to do that if there's not enough time to quickly see the other mizmorim before. And this is very interesting about some of the historic background and some of the ideas behind this. Very nice tshuva. All right, Amir Hashem, tomorrow we're going to continue with this tshuva and wrap up all the tshuvas tomorrow. We're going to wrap it up, wrap up the simon, and then we're going to start with Hilchos Chanukah. Everyone should have a wonderful day. Bruchim to you.
Have a good day. Sure.